Welcome to my new Facebook page, How I Conquered Chronic PTSD. You know, in 1993 at my 45th birthday, if you told me that by 2002, not more than 10 years later, that I would be diagnosed with chronic PTSD, I would have told you were off the pixies. You must have been smoking something, injecting something or snorting something, but there was, you've got to be kidding me. But that's where I was. In 2002, I was diagnosed with chronic PTSD with alcohol abuse, substance abuse, tobacco abuse. I was drinking 4 or 5 stubbies of beer and at least a bottle of wine at night. By 10 o'clock, I was legless. And I was doing that so that I could get 3 or 4 hours of sleep in a night before I got attacked by the nightmares and the panic attacks, and it was a nightly occurrence. Substance abuse, I was totally and utterly dependent on that antidepressant Zoloft, and I was taking the highest dose that you could get. And while I was on this roller coaster ride, I was taking these little white pills. And when I was depressed and unhappy and in that dark place, I popped one of these pills. Hey, there I am, firing on all 12 cylinders. Go Kev, back on top. And so this is what I was going through, this roller coaster ride. In 2008, the GFC hit. Between 2008 and 2011, I wiped out my super fund. I lost over $350,000 and I actually owed the bank $80,000. Lucky me. So what happened here? Well, Kevin on the inside, when I was in one of my darkest, deepest, blackest places, said, easy solution, Kev. We just end it all. Just end it all. No more worries, no more problems. You'll be right. We'll just be at complete peace with yourself. No worries. So that's exactly what I did. Like an automaton, I got in my car and I ended up 15 metres from the edge of a 70 to 80 metre cliff, and I was about to drive over that cliff into the ocean below and end it all. So what was it that stopped me? Well, in 2002, I took up sailing, and sailing became an absolute passion. I was sailing 4 or 5 days a week on Sydney Harbour, and I loved it. It was my release. I was at peace. When I was out on the water, particularly offshore or doing a boat delivery, that's when I was at my happiest and most peaceful. So what was it that stopped me driving over the cliff? Well, sailing into the view came this yacht, heading north. And it was like an unseen fist, poof, punched me in the guts. And Kevin on the inside said, stop, don't do this. Don't do this. Take the car out of gear, get your foot off the throttle and leave the handbrake where it was, or where it is. And you don't need to do this. And it was at that point I realised that I had to turn my life around, and that's what I started to do. So between 2011 and 2015, I turned my life around, 180-degree polar opposite. And it was then that I came to the realisation that I had to tell my story. I had to tell my story so that I could help other people like me not to make the mistakes that I made and learn the bitter lessons that I had to learn, or ever get to that point where you're going to do this. So that's when I made the decision to tell my story, because I knew that by doing that I could support and help other people, and this was globally. It wasn't just in Australia, it was right around the world. USA, UK, Canada, New Zealand, etc. So this then became my absolute sole purpose and passion in life. This is what I have devoted the rest of my life to. And in doing this, I found that there were 3 key things that I had done and that I could do for currently serving men and women and veterans to help them turn their lives around, not to do what I had done or almost been about to do. So to learn more about what those 3 key things are, click on the link below, and I'll be talking to you again in a minute. Thanks.